Cinderace has finally gotten a buff, and now is the perfect time to show you guys the Neo build for Cinderace. How's it going, everyone? I'm the Zaben Neo Zaben, and thank you for hopping into Zaben Education. Of course, with this build, we gotta start off with, well, the build. Here's the emblems and held items, right? So, as you can see, we have ourselves a Pidgeot, we have a Tauros, Marowak, Fearow, Machamp, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Primeape, Quagsire, and of course, a Gyarados, right? So, how this works. So when you have this emblem build together, if you look at the equipped stats, right, you're going to see that this gives you an additional 200 health, which is really going to counter the fact that we have lower defense with this build, right? We have -5 to both defense and special defense, but that 200 for HP is definitely just going to help you out a lot more. Like a meat shield, if you will, right? So it's actually, it comes in clutch and is really handy to have that additional health. With this build, you get an additional 12 attack, right? Which is great. And you'll also notice that your special attack goes down by 24. That is completely fine because Cinderace is not a special attacker. Cinderace overall is just a physical attacker, so definitely with this you can understand, like, hey, you don't really need that. And this would be a perfect build, right? Now, the equipped sets, right? Because we have matching colors with this build. With the blue, we'll have an additional 2% to defense, which is pretty good, honestly. You'll get an additional 2% to HP, so you're going to get even more HP than just the 200 that is offered with this. You're going to get an additional 4% to attack, which is probably one of my favorite things on this. And you're going to get an additional 2% to special defense. Again, we're trying to buff up that defense a little bit as much as we can without really sacrificing too much our attack, because this build, we're really trying to do as much damage as possible, right? So our held items. Now, this is what I prefer. So you have yourselves the Rapid Scarf. Now, what's cool about Rapid Scarf is it will give you an additional 12 attack, right? So you're doing an additional 12 on top of the 12 you're already doing. And it gives you 9% attack speed, which is great because with Cinderace, you kind of want to, and especially with this build, you want to do damage as fast as possible. So that's really good. Now, you will see that there's an additional 30% to attack speed. That's because the Rapid Scarf has a sort of an interesting feature to it, where if you do 3 basic attacks, right, your simple attack, which is what you're going to be doing a lot of, if you do 3 in a row, right, bop, 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 you're going to get an additional 30% attack speed on top of that. So you'll see all of a sudden when you're attacking and doing damage to other players that you're popping up, like you're attacking really fast, and that's really what we want. So, and again, the fact that it's paired up with the additional 12 attack makes this really, really wanted for the build. We also have a Muscle Band. Muscle Band is going to give you 15 attack, so you're going to have more attack, and an additional 7.5 to attack speed. So again, pair that up with the 9% and the often 30% with this build, you're going to be attacking pretty darn fast, and that's what we want to see, right? Now, it does have a added feature where you could do, I believe, an additional 3% based off of the enemy's HP. A little bit weird, but hey, at least it's an additional 3%. I didn't really mark it up here because it didn't seem as important, because it's something you probably won't notice very much. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I'm not too sure. And lastly, we have the scope lens here, which is going to give you an additional 6% to your critical rate, right? You want to have a higher critical rate, right? You want to be able to do critical damage because that's what does the most damage. Speaking of critical damage, it does offer an additional 12% critical damage. So when you do hit that crit, it's going to be very, very painful. Now, you will also see that there is an additional 75% crit damage. Now, the way that that works is that, again, this is a fully, level 30 held item. You'll do an additional 75% of your attack stat when dealing a critical hit with a basic attack, okay? So if you do a basic attack and it's a crit, this will do an additional 75% of your attack stat in that move. So basically, you're just going to be doing a ton of damage with Scope Lens on top of already the additional 12%. So you're going to be hitting people pretty darn hard with this build, right? Again, you're going to be hitting them not just hard, but you're going to be hitting them fast, and that is the goal here. So the idea is not only are we raising our attack, but we're trying to raise our attack speed as well to do as much damage as possible. And with critical rate being raised with scope lens, try to see if we can hit as much critical damage as possible, right? So with that said, let's just go ahead, let's just get right into a game and show you guys how we mess around with Cinderace. Okay, so for our Cinderace here, or I guess it's a Score Bunny right now, there's a couple ways you could run your Cinderace when playing in a game. As you can see right now, I'm going bottom lane. I find that it's kind of one of the better things to do with Score Bunny to try and to get him leveled up a little bit faster, you know. So we're gonna go after this guy right here. I don't know what our Buzzwole's really doing, but we're just gonna go after these guys. So you kind of level up faster this way. I noticed that some people tend to also go jungle first, which is completely fine. Because the thing with Score Bunny I've noticed, and this kind of goes to, you know, all Pokemon as well, is the faster you level them up, the better, right? So, but definitely Cinderace is one of those Pokemon that takes advantage of that. So the moves that we're going to be running for our Cinderace is actually going to be, funny enough, the two buffed moves for Cinderace, which is going to be Feint and Pyro Ball. For me personally, I prefer Pyro Ball over, I believe it's like Blaze Kick or whatever the other one is, just because I like to do damage and kind of still be far away. And then Feint I like because you can basically, for like, let's say a second or two, not receive any damage, which is what I love, because it does help with getting around or away certain moves, especially with Unite moves. You want to take advantage of that, right? So we're just going to go ahead and dunk here. We're going to try to get to level 7. I believe that's when we get Pyro Ball. Top lane, I hope they're doing fine. Nobody's coming down. No, top lane looks like it's struggling. All right. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try to just dunk. Here we go. So yeah, so we're gonna do Pyro Ball over Blaze Kick. Again, that's just my preference. And again, Pyro Ball is a move that did get buffed, so now it does even more damage than it did before. And I believe Feint actually you get Feint back a lot sooner than you did before. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to leave the Buzzwole here. Yeah, you should be able to do it. Yeah, Flame Charge is the next one. But again, I'm going to go with Feint here. Because you should be able to get Feint a little bit more often now due to the recent buff. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take some of these guys down. I'm going to score. And then let's help out our team here. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am running X Attack as my battle item, because that does allow you to do, I believe it's an additional 20% attack speed, and I believe it does more damage as well overall. So definitely X Attack is it's just literally, this build for Cinderace is just turning him into a gosh darn machine gun. Right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to fight off this Lucario. At the moment, I'm level 10, so that's pretty good. We are definitely at a pretty good level here. Once we get to higher levels, this team has pretty much just lost. Right? Oh, okay, I did Feint there just in case, but he ran off. Again, we're going to upgrade that Pyro Ball. It looks like Buzzwole might be in trouble, so we're going to go ahead and start heading down. Okay, let's see. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, Buzzwole actually bringing the fight to them. Now, Buzzwole can be a pretty annoying Pokemon to fight. And I speak from experience. So, yep, and look at that. He took down the enemy Cinderace as well. Ooh, but the Cinderace also took him out. You know, fair trade, I think. Ooh. I didn't realize the Aegis Slash was at the bottom. Hey, ooh, I did it too early. I knew that Aegis Slash was going to do that, but I did it too early. Gosh darn. Okay, that's fine. I'll take the defeat there. Yeah, I was supposed to wait a second. When as soon as you see the triangle there with Aegis Slash, then that's the moment you're supposed to go ahead and press Feint. I did it just a little bit too early, so I still got hit by that. But as soon as you saw the triangle there, then that's when you were supposed to go ahead and use Feint. So we're just going to go ahead, beat up these guys. You can see, like, I'm doing damage pretty fast. And when you pair up that that Rapid Scarf with X attack, you're just going to be doing insane damage in such a short period of time. So we have a pretty good lead right now. I would recommend that this guy behind me beat up some of these Pokemon, right? He's level 8. I want to see what the whole teams are. Okay, they have some... Oh! Alright, I'm going to start with X attack here. This might be a dumb choice. Yeah, 3 of them ganged up on me. I was like, I'm going to do my Unite move just in case, but that was a dumb move. At the moment, we are in the lead. I'm going to go... yeah, I'm going to go for the Rotom, because I could tell that the enemy team is doing that. I might not be able to make it in time. Okay, that's fine. Ooh, there we go. Just avoided that dash. And Pyro Ball should come back. Bada boom. Look at that big damage. Pyro Ball is just really good. And again, personally, I prefer Feint, but you could use the other one. I believe that lets you kind of charge in a direction. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna back it up. I see that there's a few of them. Oh, I didn't do my Feint in time. That's fine. Oh, I tried to get Pyro Ball out, but I didn't. Lucario beat me with the dash. Completely fine. Still completely fine. We're doing pretty good, honestly. If we have 5 eliminations right now, not too bad. I definitely could do a little bit better. But, come on, get in there. Get in there. Get him, buddy. This Caesar can definitely get him. Caesar also got a buff. Okay, so it looks like this Cinderace over here is using X speed. And he has the charged attack. I'm gonna go with Feint here, just in case. Okay, he didn't do the dash attack, which I thought he was gonna do. Feint here to back it up. Oh, what the heck hit me? Let's retreat there, guys. Let's see, what are the levels looking like? I'm at 14. Enemy team has a Lucario at 14. The levels are looking a little weird to me, but I think it's possible that we could still win this. We're in the lead right now, but if we can stop them from getting Zapdos, or if we could get the Zapdos, it's a wrap. I'm going to use the Unite on him. We're going to go immediately with Feint. Oh, and the Aegis Slash got me. I believe I was able to take out 2 of them, though. Oh, boy. This is not looking good. Okay, let's see. little bit of a boost from Feint. Ooh. Gonna do Feint X attack. We're at the 10-second mark. I'm hoping that was enough. I didn't see if the other guy scored, but I definitely scored. I saw that Ninetales at the end definitely scored, so let's finger crossed that we got it. And just like that, we won it. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen maybe a little bit more teamwork from my team there, honestly. That wasn't too bad, but it definitely would have been a lot better, and the team's at least giving me a thumbs up, so I'm gonna be nice, give them thumbs up as well. But they did decent, but we could have done a little bit better, right? Hopefully you guys enjoyed that Cinderace build. Honestly, I really like it because you do so much damage within a short period of time, and that's kind of it, really. That's just that's the whole point of this build. You do as much damage as possible in a short period of time. You will get games where like you can dominate so much with that, and then there's other games where you maybe won't dominate as much, but you still get the clutch, the win. It's pretty great, honestly. Right? So yeah, I would definitely recommend, and I didn't get too into it, but battle items, I went with X attack, because if you have X attack, it's going to increase your attack as well as your attack speed. And I didn't really get too into it because I feel like that might be more of a preference for you guys and how you might want to run your Cinderace. The way I like to use X attack with my Cinderace is I'll either do one of two things. I try to pair it up with Rapid Scarf so that the attack speed stacks up and I'm doing a lot of damage all at once. It's kind of what I do mostly. And the other one, which I don't do as much, but I definitely try to do, is if Rapid Scarf is done with, all right, it activated, it's finished, then I'll try to activate X attack afterwards or close to the end of Rapid Scarf, because that's going to continue your attack buff, right? You're going to attack faster and you want to make it last as long as you can. So that's kind of how I like to pair it up for the build. You can use X speed if you want to just run around faster, quick eject. What's the other one? Slow smoke, right? Just naming a few. You can use those items if you want. Potion if you want. But just as long as you get an understanding of how to play the Cinderace and what item works best for you. When it comes to the held items and the emblems, you want to keep those the same, but battle items you can definitely change to how you like. And another recommendation for Cinderace is if you are going lane, I probably would recommend that you go with a bulky, maybe annoying character. There's a couple characters like that. I think early on, characters like Cramorant, Greedent, Buzzwole, Mamoswine, I think early on in the game, those characters can be pretty annoying, especially if they level up fast. They can be really annoying to battle against, right? So if you have one of those characters, or maybe there's some other characters that work too, pair it up with you and your Cinderace, then you're probably going to have an easy time just destroying that lane, right? If you go jungle, of course, just level up as fast as you can and help out wherever help is needed. But definitely just, again, that's my recommendation if you decide to go lane with Cinderace. Just a reminder that Pokemon Unite is a team-based game. So just because you pick up this Cinderace and you might go on a winning streak or a losing streak, it doesn't mean that it's entirely because of you, right? Obviously, let the results at the end figure out what it is and why not, learn from that. But anyways, the whole point is that this is a team-based game. So you could play games where you're doing completely terrible with Cinderace and you win. And that's because your team could have carried you. They've done a really good job and knew what to do and they held it down. You could also have games where you could be dominating, but it's the opposite, where the team, instead of also dominating, for some reason just slacks off or something goes on. Somebody goes AFK, right? There's always something. So just bear in mind that it's the team-based game. It's not always going to be you. At this point, it is a learning curve for you to understand the character, this new play style, and see if you like it or not. The rest is really on the team. I thought the weakest link on my team was the Caesar. It seemed like when everybody was level 10, he was still level 8. So I thought he seemed to be the weakest link. The game really didn't think so. The game thought that the Zero Aura, who had 0 points but 8 eliminations, was the weakest link there. So a little bit confusing, and I guess a bit of a perspective-wise of how that works, but still just interesting to see. And I believe that on the enemy team, it seemed like the Talonflame was the weakest link, because they were definitely low level for almost the entire game. I don't think they even got that. I don't know if they scored points, but they only had like 1 elimination. So definitely, if that Talonflame would have just leveled up faster, could have gotten more eliminations if they played their cards right. And they could have definitely helped and carried the team, especially at the end when the Zapdos was taken from us and the enemy team had it. They had the opportunity to go ahead and knock us out, go score, but luckily for us, we kind of prevented that for the most part, and we were able to score a bunch of points at the end, which gave us that comeback. So definitely an awesome story there, and again, it's all about teamwork. So make sure that even if you're playing with randoms, preferably play with friends, get the teamwork going. It's all about teamwork. So with that said, as always, everybody, please stay kind, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys next time with some more Saban Education. Good night, everyone.